Here's the thing about making money with AI online that almost nobody talks about. The people actually building real income streams aren't jumping from tool to tool, chasing every new release. They're doing something way less exciting but way more effective. They picked one specific, kind of boring problem, and they got really good at solving it faster using AI as their assistant. That's it. And honestly, understanding this changes everything about how you should approach this whole space. If you find yourself nodding along to realistic takes like this, you might want to subscribe. We skip the hype and focus on what actually works. Now, let me be clear up front. This isn't financial advice or a promise of any specific results. What I'm sharing are patterns and possibilities based on what's happening right now, not guarantees. The online world changes fast, and your results depend on a ton of factors I can't predict. So here's where most people go wrong. They see AI tools and immediately think about the tool itself. They ask questions like, what can ChatGPT do, or what can Midjourney create? But the people making sustainable income online flip that question entirely. They ask, what annoying, time-consuming problem do real people or businesses already pay to solve, and how can AI help me solve it faster or better? That shift sounds simple. It's not. Because it requires you to stop being fascinated by AI capabilities and start being obsessed with other people's problems. It means shifting your focus from the shiny new tool to the mundane, persistent headaches that real people face every single day. And most of us, honestly, find the AI part way more interesting than listening to a small business owner complain about their messy email inbox. But that messy inbox, that everyday frustration, that's actually where the real opportunity lives. That's where people are willing to pay for a solution. Let me give you a concrete example grounded in what's happening right now. There's a freelancer I've been following who does something incredibly specific. She helps e-commerce brands rewrite their product descriptions for better search visibility. This directly impacts their bottom line through increased traffic and sales. That's it. Just product descriptions, no web design, no social media management. A single, high-value service. Before AI, she could do maybe 15 to 20 of these per day at a decent quality level. Now, using a combination of Claude and some custom templates she built over months of refinement, she does around 60 per day while maintaining quality that clients approve without major revisions. She didn't build an app. She didn't create a course about AI. She didn't need to learn to code or raise venture capital. She took a service people already paid for and made herself 3 times more efficient at delivering it. Her income roughly tripled because she could take on more clients without burning out. The AI isn't the product. Her expertise in knowing what makes a good product description, combined with AI speed, is the product. The AI is just a very powerful lever. But here's the catch most people miss. It took her about 4 months of experimenting, failing, and refining her process before she hit that level of efficiency. This wasn't an overnight success. The first month was honestly a mess. The AI outputs needed so much editing that she was barely faster than before. The tone was wrong, the details were generic, she almost gave up. Most people do give up at that stage because they expected magic and got a tool that requires skill to use well. They thought AI would do the work for them. It doesn't. It accelerates work you already understand. It's a partner, not a replacement for your own expertise and effort. This brings us to something I think is the core insight about AI money-making that separates people who build real income from people who just talk about it online. It's a fundamental shift in thinking that most people miss, but it's the key to unlocking real sustainable value. The money isn't in using AI. The money is in the gap between what an AI produces raw, that first often generic draft, and what clients actually need, which is a polished, context-aware final product. Your value lives in that gap. If you can shrink that gap through your unique expertise, dedicated practice, and smart processes, you become genuinely valuable and difficult to replace. If you just paste prompts and send whatever comes out, you're not a professional. You're a commodity, competing with millions of other people doing the exact same low-effort thing. Now here's where things get interesting when we look slightly ahead. We're starting to see a shift from one-off services to what I'd call AI-enhanced productized services. Instead of saying I'll write your product descriptions, people are saying for a fixed monthly fee, I'll keep your entire product catalog optimized using my proprietary system. They're building small, focused businesses around ongoing problems rather than one-time gigs. This works because businesses hate uncertainty. They'd much rather pay a predictable amount for a predictable result than constantly hire freelancers project by project, and AI makes it possible for a single person to maintain that ongoing service at scale. You stop trading hours for dollars and start building a true asset, something that generates recurring revenue. A realistic example that's emerging right now: there are people building small agencies of 1 or 2 people that handle social media content for 5 to 10 local businesses each. They use AI to generate drafts, schedule posts, and even create basic graphics. The business owners don't care that AI is involved. They care that their Facebook page has consistent, decent content and they don't have to think about it. The person running this charges each client maybe $500 to $1,000 monthly. With 8 clients, that's a full-time income managed in perhaps 20 hours per week of actual work. But let's be honest about the downsides here. Competition is increasing fast. What felt novel 6 months ago is now standard. The bar keeps rising. You need to get good at something specific, not just generally okay at prompting AI. You need to understand the actual domain you're serving. Someone who's been in marketing for years and adds AI to their toolkit will outperform someone who learned marketing from ChatGPT last month, at least for now. Domain expertise still matters enormously, maybe even more than before. There's also the reality that AI tools themselves are a moving target. The workflow you build today might be outdated in 8 months when new capabilities emerge. This isn't necessarily bad, but it means you can't just set and forget. You need to stay curious and keep refining. Actually, this might be the most underrated skill in this whole space. Not prompting, not technical setup, but the willingness to keep iterating on your process, even after it's working. Okay. The people I see doing well treat their AI-assisted workflow like a garden. It needs regular attention, weeding, and occasional replanting. They're constantly tweaking, testing, and improving. So what's a practical way to approach this if you're starting from scratch? I'd suggest something that sounds boring but works. Pick a service you could offer that solves a real problem, something businesses or individuals already pay for. Then spend 1 month doing that service the traditional way, without AI assistance. Understand what the work actually requires, learn where the time goes and where quality matters most. Only then bring AI into the process. Start with the most time-consuming parts that have clear, right answers. Things like research, first drafts, formatting, and basic analysis. Keep the judgment calls and client communication human for now. Measure honestly whether you're actually faster and whether quality holds up. Don't assume it's working just because it feels faster. Most people skip that first month. They want to go straight to the AI-assisted version. But without understanding the work itself, you can't tell when AI is helping versus when it's creating subtle problems you'll only discover when a client gets upset. That foundational knowledge is what lets you catch mistakes before they reach anyone else. Here's something that honestly surprises me about where we are right now with AI. Despite all the noise and the endless headlines about AI taking jobs, there's actually a massive and growing shortage of people who can reliably deliver AI-enhanced services at a professional level. The gap between the hype and the reality of implementation is huge. Lots of people are experimenting, which is great. They're tinkering with image generators and chatbots, but not many have gotten good enough to be dependable, to consistently produce client-ready work that solves a real business problem. If you can become that dependable person in a specific niche, you're genuinely valuable because you're rare. You become the bridge between the tool's potential and a tangible business outcome. But the window for this won't last forever. The tools will get easier and more intuitive, more people will figure it out, and the baseline skill level will rise. But right now, in this weird, messy middle period, there's a golden opportunity for people willing to do the unglamorous work of getting actually good at combining their human expertise with AI assistance. This means learning, failing, and refining your process. Because making money with AI online isn't really about AI at all. It's about deeply understanding and solving problems people care about, using every tool available to solve them better, faster, and more effectively. AI is currently the most powerful new tool in that kit, but the tool doesn't make you money, just like a hammer doesn't build a house. What you build with it does. Now, a quick reminder that everything I've shared is about possibilities and patterns, not financial advice, predictions, or promises. Your situation is unique, your skills are your own, and what works for one person might not work for you. Always do your own research, and be skeptical of anyone promising easy overnight results. The real work takes time. With that said, I'm curious what you think. If you were going to pick one specific problem to solve using AI as your powerful assistant, what would it be? Not the tools you'd use, but the actual human or business problem you'd help people with. Drop that in the comments below. I genuinely want to know what angles people are considering. It's a fascinating space, and maybe we can all learn from each other's thinking.